You're listening to the Roofing Success Podcast, a show created to inspire roofing contractors to achieve optimal success in their roofing businesses. I'm the host, Jim Moline, the co-author of the book, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors, How to Triple Your Sales and Turn Your Roofing Website into an Online Lead Generation Machine. I'm also the co-founder of Roofer Marketers, the digital marketing agency for the roofing industry. On each episode, I'll be sitting down with industry leaders to talk about their processes, the lessons they've learned, and how to find success in roofing. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. As always, please subscribe, share, follow, comment, all of those things. Leave us a review. That'd be awesome too. And if you want to take the conversation beyond just listening to the podcast, go to Facebook, type in Roofing Success, and join the Roofing Success Facebook group. As we're heading into the holiday season, right? It may be a good time to start thinking about giving, right? So today we have Jeff Sawyer and Matt Powers back on the show from TruNorth to talk about the things that they've been doing in the community, and not just through the holidays, but on a year-round basis that has really had an impact on their business, and their community. How's it going, guys? Welcome back.
How you doing? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. So, we were talking the other day, Jeff, and you were like, man, you were telling me all of these cool things that you guys have been doing in the community. How did this come to be as part of your company culture?
Well, I think me and Matt both have, always had interest, in the community, whether it was he's involved in Little League. One of them was a cancer thing from my father's had cancer. So that's something that's very important to me. I also have a friend that has a nonprofit that helps veterans. And that was kind of our first one that we kind of partnered with. It's called Open Doors Outdoors. He basically takes veterans and gets them out hiking, gets them introduced back out to the wilderness for some emotional healing and just some accomplishment. And it was something that I had done with him before, done some hikes, and I just think it's a great organization. So that kind of started it. And Matt's always seems to be kind of open to anything. So I brought that one up and said, hey, what do you think about sponsoring this? And he was all for it. We have a great story with really one of the homeless foundations in this area called Cornerstone. And it really has a great story. It kind of ties me and Matt's history together.
So my family started a road race, a Christmas morning road race. And all the proceeds went to a soup kitchen in town. And actually the town my family's from, Jeff was from. And the soup kitchen's like a women's shelter, a homeless shelter, a food pantry. And me and Jeff didn't, I was a kid when my parents started this, and I knew it was a good organization, but I didn't know how good it was. So when I brought it up to Jeff, he was like, absolutely, let's sponsor the race. My family had stepped away for like 15 years. It brought my family back to it. I have great memories of it. And another kind of side story of it, before me and Jeff knew each other, my father owned a small business in town and used to go to his parents' small business, get their donuts. They owned a bakery and sell them at his shop. And that was what, if you ran the race, you got donuts and like a pair of gloves, and it was from his family. So that was a great kind of a little side story to it.
Yeah, we were tied in before we even knew it. And I think Matt spent most of your Christmases.
That was Christmas morning. We got up Christmas morning, went and ran the race. There was probably a couple hundred runners, but they would come from all over. We get a family that would come down from Canada, stay with a relative. So it was really a nice way to celebrate Christmas. And now that I have a son, it's great to have that same tradition with him. It's actually fantastic.
So go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, these are great things that just like these type of events in the community. And a lot of times, in your business, you don't think about everything comes from just your personal backgrounds, right? And so it's like, oh, we just got tied into this. I know the person that's doing this and this. And so you get involved, you got involved naturally.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Matt brought it up, and I just said, I'm not familiar with the organization. So I went down and spent a couple hours with the director over there, just walked through it. And I was just, kind of blown away with how much they do for the community and how much people, there's so many people out there that need stuff like this. And so I came back from that and I called Matt right away. I'm like, yes, we're definitely doing the race sponsor, but I think there's some other things we could do. And that kind of led to part of the conversation we had earlier was, when you're first starting your business, it's hard to get involved in the community stuff because you think there's going to be expenses, and the first thing we did with them, and it didn't cost us any money, we did a clothing drive. So we sent out clothing emails to all our vendors. We did social media, all our guys, all our employees, everyone. And we ended up bringing 2 or 3 truckloads of clothes over to them, and just as a simple donation. And that didn't cost us any money. It was just a little bit of time getting the clothes over there. So there's so many different avenues that you can get involved in the community that help people, help organizations that don't really cost a lot of money. And there's avenues to do that. And then, obviously once you get a little more established in the business, that you can donate money and you can donate to some other things. Matt's got us involved in Little League. We do a bunch of stuff with Little League, and I'll let him talk about it, but that's something we put some money into. But now we're more of an established company now. We can donate some of the money and we can give back financially and our time. But in the beginning, there are ways to do things for the community that you don't have to spend the money.
And I think that's our greatest thing. The money's one thing, but that we actually, we put boots on the ground and we do things.
Yeah.
Because that's more, that creates a lasting impression, which helps our business and our guys, like Jeff said, I'm involved in the Little League in Coventry, the town I'm from. And obviously there's most young boys and girls play Little League, at one point in their life. I played Little League. So that was like a no-brainer to give back to it. And it shows, again, with my son, it shows him like as he moves forward in life, like this is, my father coaches, my father volunteers. It just, it pays it forward, you hope.
We were over there, 2 Fridays ago? We rebuilt the snack shack for them.
And our guys get something out of it. They loved it. They had a fun day. It was nice for them. It's something they feel like they're giving back, and maybe it triggers them to give going forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's a great kind of a great way to put it is you're also showing, right, the next generation or other people, other contractors, like, hey man, you can do this too, right? And just setting a good example in the community at the same time, right? And you had mentioned like your guys went out and rebuilt the snack shack. I mean, that's probably an easy project for them, right? That's not putting in remodeling a kitchen and or doing a basement finish or something like that. That's not putting a roof on. That's so how do they, when you first started bringing these kind of ideas to your employees, what kind of response have you gotten from that?
Nothing but positive.
Yeah. Everyone loves to be involved. Like Matt said, it's a day for, we have so many different people that we don't have that many opportunities for all of us to get together and do something. So there's always an opportunity, like when we do these things. Yeah, it's a team building thing too for us, and everyone gets together. And we do a lot of stuff around the holidays. We have a couple of things we can talk about too, but it's a team building thing. It's camaraderie. People enjoy it. It's a day. It's a break from the norm. You're out in the middle of a field doing Little League stuff. Yep. I mean, for the homeless shelter, we spent a day, went and we painted their gym. So we had our entire company there. We painted the gym. It was just a great day. I mean, we ended up playing horse at the end of the day. So it's just you get something from it personally, but you also get something from it business wise. And I think, we struggled in the beginning of how much do we market or how much do we show people what we're doing? Because
feel like
we
tough situation.
Yeah, we don't want to feel like we're doing those things strictly to get publicity and put it out on social media.
And it helps. I'm gonna be honest, it helps with the business, but that's not our.
But we, some people have morally, we just weren't sure what the balance was about what do we show. And I had someone approach us and that just said, actually, you guys, the more you put it out on social media, the more it's going to help these organizations to, it sheds light on these organizations, and it gets more people aware of the different things. And so we kind of got over that fast and just started broadcasting everything we do. And we just want to be part of the community. And I think it's helped these organizations that we work for. We are also involved in the Cancer Society. In October, Real Men Wear Pink. All our guys wear pink all month. That's another one that you don't have to put money into. You raise it if you don't want to. So there's another first kind of starter to get you into the community. But there's those type of things for us are just, it's very important for us to give back. And I've had a ton of people come up to me on the side and say, wow, you guys do so much for the community. We don't see people doing that anymore. Yeah. So there's a benefit to it for our business as well.
Yeah, like Jeff said, it draws attention to the institution. Jeff grew up a mile away from the soup kitchen.
Yeah.
And didn't really know it existed, didn't know what it did. So how many other thousands of people live in the area that don't know? And something like that serves thousands of people weekly. Right. And that I was blown away by how many people they help. We blown away by that.
Yeah.
That's a great point, right? Because and that's where, you don't. This is what I'll tell people too. Hey, if you're not a giver, if this isn't you, maybe don't do it, right? Because it will look funny on social media.
Yeah, you got to be authentic.
Not your authentic self, right? So if you're, if you're one of those, if you're not into it, don't try to masquerade at it. But when it is your authentic self, it doesn't look, it doesn't look strange to the outside looking in. But the best thing I think you said there is now you're raising awareness around that cause.
Right.
Get over your egos, right? Like, this isn't about us. It's another level, because in your ego, you're thinking, well, I don't want people to think that we're just doing this to get attention, right? But that's our own egos thinking of that, right? That's not, but if you're doing it authentically, because it's you and how you operate, now you get to use your platforms, and you guys do a great job on social media and have a great following. And now you get to promote all of this stuff and bring more awareness to these causes. So that's a great, I love that point specifically, that you get to use your audience, use your customers, use your past customer base, all of that to
our
now
suppliers are all our suppliers.
Man,
right? people that we're spending a ton of money for, they have the opportunity to give back and donate. And that's a big thing for us too, because you have a little leverage with those people, so you can get that.
That's right. That's right. Hey, we're doing this event, or we're rebuilding the snack shack at the Little League. Could you donate something? And that's awesome stuff, man, that everyone gets connected in that manner, right?
Tough to say no to stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, and the other part of it is the employee side. I would, I've had other contractors on the show that do a lot of giving also. And one of the biggest things that they've said is they get a different level of buy-in with their employees. Their employees also understand that you're not just in it for the money, for the paycheck.
Right.
They see a greater cause for working for TruNorth. I don't know if it's gotten to this point for you guys yet, but have you attracted any employees that are like, wow, like when you're going through the hiring process and you're saying, yeah, and we do this on, we work with the Little League, and we do the cancer, awareness, and we do this and that. How has that been in the hiring process for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. People reach out to us to work for us. We get emails, we get texts, kind of talking about our business, saying how it looks like a great organization to work for. It's flattering, it's humbling. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to say 2 or 3 of our employees right now had reached out to us, and you get good. If they're reaching out to you, you get a good employee. They're not just sitting home reading an ad like, yeah, I guess I need a job. These people are actively thinking about where they want to work, what's a good situation for them. So being out there with all this stuff, kind of, it like I said, it attracts a better quality employee.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
Yeah. And that's where, everyone is struggling right now with hiring and hiring good people. Like that's a big struggle, right? And putting yourself out there first. That the other thing that, from the last episode we had you guys on was because you do such a great job on social media and with your video content. And so, just for first is like you put yourself out there and all kinds of opportunities start to come from that. Right. And then you get the opportunity to help these organizations and more opportunity comes from that. And then someone calls you up one day and they're like, hey, we see you guys look like a good company to work for. I'd like to, like, there is something that happens when you just start doing the right thing. Right. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It is. People should, realize that.
Yeah. And like back to our original conversation, I think people struggle with starting because they think they have to put so much money into things. True. And there's so many avenues that you can take to help things. We're gonna bring on a new one. I haven't even told Matt about this one, but I'm a big dog person, and I want to start doing something with the Humane Society. Maybe even something as small as, every job we get, we take $20 from that job and it goes to the Humane Society, something like that, because I'm a huge animal person. And so those are small little things you can do to kind of give back to all these different things. And you have to have a passion about these things. That's important too. Like
every one of our things on there means something to us.
Yeah. I mean, Matt's passionate about coaching and Little League, and I'm passionate about the cancer stuff and the veterans. We do this other thing. We do this Thanksgiving parade where we spend half a day. We decorate up our trailer.
Christmas.
It's Christmas
during Thanksgiving. It's a Christmas parade.
Okay.
And we did a Santa workshop. We had a ball. We brought all our employees. It was a whole day. We built this thing, and then all our employees came that night. And it's more for the kids and the community and stuff. And again, it doesn't hurt having our truck out there with our name on it, towing the Santa's workhouse, throwing out candy. But it's fun. You start to, you want to do more of them because you get a sense of accomplishment. You get a sense of being connected to the community, and you want to do more stuff. And I think we started out with just one. Open Doors was our first one, and then it's just slowly kind of trickled into more and more things come up. We'll have an employee bring up something. Hey, what about doing this? Yeah, let's do that. Let's try it. So it gets everyone involved. It's a great team building thing. It really is.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome. And then, so let's try it. Let's just kind of figure out, like if you were to start over, kind of what you said, like, hey, this is, if a contractor's out there, they're like, yeah, this is something I want to do more of, right? Like I want to get into this. Like you're saying, maybe you don't have a lot of cash to outlay into something. You're more in that startup phase of your business. What advice would you give that contractor to get the ball rolling on something like this?
Donate your time. Your time is valuable. Like we said earlier, that goes a long way. Whatever your skill set is, whatever you can do, offer that up. Like Jeff said, posting something on social media, we're doing a fundraiser for this, donating the clothing, that doesn't cost. Even if you just go to your house, and Jeff has plenty of clothes. Even if you go to your house and go through your wardrobe, and you bring that down there, and then, you tell your, hey, it's the Thanksgiving holiday, it's the Christmas holiday, send out a mass email to your employees. I'm going down to this great organization. I'm going to donate my clothes. Just putting it out there. It'd be great if, and that just puts your name back into old customers. So it's a nice, easy way to volunteer without spending a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. I think first I would say find some things that you're passionate about, because it's a lot easier when you're passionate about those things, and it'll keep your drive up to stay involved. So find something that really affects you, whether it's personally or your family or friends. Like for me, with my father had cancer, so the cancer one was a big thing for me. But in the beginning, find ones that you can do that don't cost money. The Cancer Society one's an easy one to do and help raise money. Like Matt said, the clothing drive. You can go and volunteer. And like Matt said, time is you can give time. Get your guys to go fix up a building somewhere at a community, or someone like local needs some help somewhere. Offer to do that type of stuff. You could, without spending cash, you can donate time, and you can come up with different things to do that allows you to get your foot into that game, that side of the thing, the community, without spending a lot of money. And it's something you'll be surprised once you start doing it. You're going to want to do a lot of it.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point there is find something that means something to you.
Right.
Makes it easier to do.
Makes it so much easier to show up, right? And there are so many great organizations, right? Like, I wouldn't have thought of Little League, right? Like it would, like, as a community involvement type of thing. I just think, oh yeah, you go coach your kid's team. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't think of it as much as that. But now that I think about it, I know a contractor out on the Pacific Northwest. He went and sponsored the school stadium, right? So, and they do all the like that type of stuff, right? Like, so you could take it to different levels, I guess, is what I was thinking. Like, so start with this, and then, as you're saying, as you now, let's talk about what your guys is. Do you have a big goal with this?
I don't think we have a big goal. It's just like we said, we enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
It helps our business. It's the good team building. So we just, as things come along, we decide if that's something that fits our passion, I guess. Right. Yeah. But there's no, I mean, I don't think, right. It's just kind of,
if you look
as they come in,
the way we did it with the Cancer Society is a good example. Is we started out the first year all we did was raise funds, have other people donate, put it out on social media. I think year 2, we decided if you donate $50, we'll give you a pink t-shirt that says TruNorth on it. Year 3, we said, all right, we'll do this t-shirt thing too. Our company's grown. We're getting more successful. Year 3, what we did is we did t-shirts, anything over 50, we get you a t-shirt, pink t-shirt. And then anything that everyone donates, we match. Mm-hmm. So you can see the different levels. Is the more successful you get, the more you can give back. And you don't have to always give money. There's a way to kind of do things without having to give the cash up. But the more successful you get, you're going to want to do things, and it creates more people donating. Hey, I'm going to get a free t-shirt, or if they're going to match, whatever I put in, then I'm going to put $100 in. And so we ended up donating like $1,000 this year to the Cancer Society. And then for instance, the homeless center, we sponsored the race last year. When I went down there to look at the facility, they needed a new refrigerator, and they were trying to raise funds. So we donated an additional couple $1,000s to help them get a refrigerator to help with all the supplies they get from grocery stores. So it's just a tiered effect. You just start out and get your feet wet, and then you can slowly build as your company builds. And I think it's an easy process to get in. You just got to find something that you really, really want to do.
Yeah. Matt, what do you think your favorite story is from all of the things that you do in the community? Do you have a specific event or something that happened?
I told you that long story about the Cornerstone. Like that means a lot to me. It was a family event, and it definitely did a lot for the community. As I got older and I'm involved in Little League, that's become a pretty big passion of mine. And Little League baseball, I think, says a lot about your community, how your field looks, how your facilities look. A lot of kids come through there. You drive through town, you see it. So if we can, by doing things for that, I make my town a better place to live in, desirable area.
Jeff, like, what do you have any stories like, around, maybe it was the Santa's workshop or something that you were like, man, this was the coolest thing we've done, or.
Yeah, I mean, that we did that. It got paused because of COVID, but I think it's going to start up again next year. So we actually had one of the best days we've had as a company, spending time building that. We had Christmas music playing. We had donuts. It was cold. I think it was snowing. We were in the barn. Everyone was involved. Everyone was so into it. It was a great day. But we also had our video guy there, and our video guy kind of spent the day with us and just put together a Christmas video. And we put that out as we didn't actually promote the parade. We did promote the parade, and then we went and did the parade. That was just a special, it's the holidays. It was just a special day. And the video came out great. It was just everyone kind of getting involved and getting into the spirit of things. For me, on the flip side, like Matt has Little League, I really get a kick out of the open doors outdoors. It's bringing the veterans part of it. I've been on a couple big hikes with that organization and have thoroughly enjoyed that. And then for us to see a veteran get sponsored to go out, we sponsored a veteran to go out to California and hike. I think it was Mount Whitney, and to see someone that has donated their time and given us all our freedoms and to give back a little, to see someone accomplish something that maybe has been struggling with some things. There's so many military guys that come back and they struggle with stuff, and to see someone accomplish something that we had a little part of, to me we have a picture of them holding our TruNorth flag on top of the mountain. To me, that's probably the one that really kind of gave me goosebumps.
That gives me goosebumps, man. That's awesome. And so we'll put the links to these organizations. I didn't think of that before, but let's put the links to the organizations that you're involved in. And if anyone wants to get that, let's build more awareness, right?
Yeah, like we were talking about, right?
Yeah, man. Exactly, let's bring more awareness to this stuff. That sounds like something that's an amazing thing for sure.
And actually, it's funny is the open doors, he's starting to branch out across the country and opening up in different areas.
Cool.
So, someone might I think he's doing Arizona, and there might be one in Georgia. So he's only 3 years old with that, but he's starting to branch out. So there might be opportunity people that are living in Arizona to find this organization and get involved.
Yeah, that's awesome. And sounds like a great organization. I've worked with a veterans organization for a long time called First American Military, or for a few years out in California. And it's really that's a community that I have a passion for sure. That's awesome. So now, it feels good to you guys. It feels good to the employees. How's it been for business?
I think it's been good. Again, it gets our name out there. We don't try to be flashy with it, but people definitely notice something. I went to go buy couches about a month ago. No, I'm saying about 6 months ago. I still haven't gotten the couches, but at Pottery Barn, and I told them my name and I told them my address, and the lady was thrilled to meet me. Said, I volunteer at the soup kitchen. I see you guys do a lot of work down there. I mean, something like that. My wife was shaking her head like, I'm sick of people knowing you, but that was great. I walked away from that feeling really good. Like it gets out there, and my grandmother, who started that race, I mean, even if I just reached her, that was fantastic. Yeah. So yes, it definitely helps build our brand for sure.
And you can look at it too. Everyone's always looking for content to put out on social media. And it's another way to build content and have videos. And it doesn't even have to, that video of us building the Santa's workshop on the trailer that day, it's one of my favorite videos. So we get a lot of content from it. Our guys, I think we did the Little League one. We had our guy out there filming us doing the Little League thing. So you can build content, and that helps your business. It helps social media, all your avenues there. But it just gives us, for business, on the business side of things, it just validates that we're doing things for the right reasons and that we're doing the right thing. And I think people want to associate themselves with organizations that do that, especially in our industry. I mean, there's a lot of, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are, don't do things properly in our industry. And we all kind of feel that. We get a little bit of bad reputation for that. And I think when you really look at an organization, they're attached to some of these community things. I think it helps people get over some of that nervousness of wanting to go forward with your business because they see that you're doing really good things in the community. And I think it's just a positive all the way around.
Yeah, if it comes between us and somebody else to hire, I think we have the advantage. They see what we do. They know they're going to feel comfortable with us in their house. So yeah, like Jeff said.
Yeah. And that's what there's a few things, right? The simplest thing is people buy from who they know, like, and trust.
Right.
Absolutely.
Know first. So your brand awareness gets out. Your brand is out in the community. They get to know you, get to like you, right? Like, man, these guys are, that coaches Little League, maybe they don't like, they
don't like that.
Yeah, they might not like that that their son was batting last on the batting order or something like that. So you gotta balance it out probably, but and then they trust you, right? Because of there are the horror stories of all the, there's a lot of terrible contractors out there that don't do a good job and have, and so seeing your company in the community doing all of these things, it just builds that trust level. Like there's nothing that can replace that, right?
Absolutely.
Your closing rate, your everything can go up because of donating to the soup kitchen, right? Like how there's
I think we talked about this a little bit last time, but I would say 7 out of 10 leads come from our social media content. Yep. And so people are on there constantly. Is where people, in our area, especially, they have, if it's a town called Glastonbury, they'll have a community Facebook page where it's all just people that live there. And you'll have someone go on there and say, hey, I'm looking for a kitchen. And we get so many people referring us just from those avenues. Yep. And a lot of that comes from building our brand and then associating ourselves with being, obviously we do really good quality work, but they also can peel back our website a little bit and they see all the people that we are involved with. And it sets us apart from other businesses. Like Matt was saying, it's a game changer when people can see that you're doing things right and you're doing things authentically and giving back to the community. It's a win-win for the organizations that we're involved with. And it's a win for us. I mean, we're not going to lie about it. It definitely helps our business.
They get to know us as a person before we step in the door, before we have that first meeting with the client. So absolutely makes them more comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. And it's just like I said earlier, like putting yourself out there, being yourself, being authentic with it. But that documentation of it on social media, that's a big thing. Like, and so I know you guys do a great job with that. We have a whole episode on that, back on the, a while ago on the podcast. What have you, let's go through that a little bit. Maybe your social media, the way that you guys do your social media. Let's start with the thing that a lot of contractors struggle with, and you kind of alluded to this, is this type of community involvement is a source of content for social media. I think that contractors struggle with, what do I post? So let's talk about that a little bit. What do you guys post?
Well, we do customer testimonials. Obviously, we show our work. But when we first started this and we brought on the social media guy, he made up a good point. Like, that's great, your work, the testimonies from your customers are huge, but let's show the customer you as an individual and you as a company. Like, that's more important. That's who they want to hire. There's a lot of guys that do good work out there, but you might not want them, in your house. You might not feel comfortable with them. So get people to know you. And that'll lead to them looking at your work and making their decision. But that I feel is the most important thing in our social media, is showing who we are.
Yeah, I think it's both. You got to have a nice balance. Like Matt said, you still have to show your work and show the customer testimonials, but you still have to have fun, because it's something that you're going to have a camera in your face all the time and you have to have fun with it. So there's a lot of times where we're just joking around, and a lot of our videos are, they're promotional videos. We do these 30-second promotional videos, just like everyone does, but we do a lot of interacting with me and Matt, or even our guys. That's funny. We try to just he really does a great job of editing and making
us funny.
Making us fun. But it helps. It spices up. People are, after a while, how many bathrooms and kitchens can you see? So the videos where it's just fun content, where it's people having fun, us joking around with each other, making fun of some of our guys, or back and forth. We did a whole series we did a video on each guy, each person that works for us. We made commentary, kind of like joking around, and then we did some serious stuff with them and told them how great they were and all that. But it was fun, and it got people to understand, to see who our guys are. So you can go on our social media feed and go through and see every guy that's going to walk in their house, see who they are, kind of get to know them before they start. And I think it's been a huge thing for us, because like Matt said, before I even get into to do the sales, the first meeting, a lot of people already know who we are. And then before we even start the project, they know our guys. And so there's a lot of comfort with that. But in terms of content, you just put whatever you want out there, put as much as you can out there. And believe it or not, you get more comfortable doing it. And there's some things our guy will send us, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if we want to put that out there, but we just do. We just, we just say, screw it, just put it out there and see what play we get. And the things that we end up saying we don't like end up being the most viewed things. You just got to get comfortable. You get to, in the beginning, it was a little awkward for us. And then we kind of you
get comfortable. You forget it. You forget
the camera's
doing it. You're just having a conversation. A lot of times that's all he plays, with our work in the background or what, but he just plays our conversations. So it's just nice when we get together. And for us, it keeps it fresh for us. The day-to-day, it's the day-to-day. It can get monotonous. So that, like things like this, even this keeps it fresh, keeps us enjoying it. This is really why we do what we do. It's the interactions with people. It's the interactions on social media. I
think that's it. There's a lot of kind of procrastination in the beginning. With social media, with a lot of times, and it's because people want to put out that perfect thing, right? They want to put out that
to be authentic.
I want to represent my brand in a very professional manner, and I want to do this and I want to do that, and I had to come to that conclusion years ago, that you got to just go. Just go, just put it out.
People will identify. Look, if you make a mistake, or if I mispronounce words constantly, there's a
time.
But I'll do it on video. I don't edit it. It's funny. It's funny. And once people realize you're just being yourself, and you're a human, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna say the wrong things. Matt swears like a sailor.
I can't help it. I apologize.
Some of the conversations, some of the content we talk about is probably maybe borderline inappropriate sometimes, but we put it out there.
We even call ourselves out on it. I'll say something, I'll go on a rant. Then in the end, I'll be like, I don't know what the heck that was about. I don't know what I was talking about there. And he'll keep that in there because that's funny. How many times has someone done that? You go on a rant and then you're done with it. Like, I don't know. That was a waste of time.
But in the beginning, it's hard to let that go and let the control go and let the professionalism go. And we just started noticing the more likes we get, or the more views we got, was stuff that wasn't serious. And so we just kind of said, let's just film whatever we want and put it out there. And that's been the biggest difference for us. So I suggest, just like you said, just put it out there and see where it goes, where it lands. And before you know it, you get more comfortable and you start building content. And that's the name of the game.
You got to have thick skin a little bit, though.
Yes, because you
got buddies like us.
Yeah, you get picked on. Your buddies will send pictures, or they'll make comments. But that's part of it. It's fun, That
means they're engaged and they're watching.
Right.
That's right. They're engaged. That's brand awareness right there. They will always know that you're what you do, right? On that note, like a lot of times that when you don't know what's going to hit, right? You don't know what's going to get that engagement until you put it out there. So maybe you could give an example of this, but I know in our business and companies that we work with, when we're doing video and things like that, it's sometimes someone will have an idea and we're like, oh, this is going to be a great one, right? Like, so you make this whole production out of it and do this whole thing, and it's like just falls flat. And then that spontaneous something out of nothing, and boom, it just takes off. Have you guys run into that at all?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, we were trying to do the HDT style, TV style videos. Hey, this is what we're doing today. We're putting in crown molding.
It's extremely awkward for us.
Yeah,
you're pointing at things. You're saying
it just was not our. It was just felt very, rehearsed.
Forced.
And we just both finally just said, hey, this isn't what we want to put out. So we just stopped doing those. We'll show our work in a video testimonial where the camera will show the work. We might talk about the job. There's some videos that we might be out there talking about the job, but then in the same clip, we're goofing around with our guys being funny. So there's a combination of that, but I think that's been the biggest shift for us is just changing the style of video.
And we adjusted that early on.
Yeah. I mean, we did this thing. I think Matt loves this one. We did
this is his favorite.
It was called the Milkman Award. I think we talked about this last time.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
And it was we did it more just as fun, right? Just so once a month we would all get together in one of our meetings, and we would pick who was the milkman of the month. It was always someone, it was meant to be fun. It was like a Survivor. Guys would be calling each other beforehand and who they're going to vote for.
I got voted for a lot.
We both got voted for a lot, oddly. But if you were on vacation for a week, so we did it for a year. It was fun. And then we did a really cool video where it was like Survivor. We actually filmed it. We were all in the conference room, and then our guy brought us each an individual room. Who are you going to vote for? And it was one of my favorite videos. Our guys loved it. We did that for a year, and then we stopped doing it. But it was just, those are the things. You just try these different things and see if they stick. And some of them work, some of them don't. And then some of them just kind of naturally stop. Like the milkman thing just kind of naturally stopped. We stopped doing it. We did it for a year. It was fun. But maybe we'll bring it back.
A new one we're doing. Last year we did a scene from Elf.
Yes.
We played out a scene in our shop. The scene was dubbed over our voices. I had to do a pirouette.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
He ate about 50,000 donuts.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's one of the things we try to do, like a holiday Christmas. We started a year ago.
Now we're doing another one.
We did a scene from the movie Elf, and then we're doing the night before Christmas. So we're going to do a whole scene. We're filming it in a couple of weeks. We'll spend 4 or 5 hours with our guys out in our barn. We're going to act this whole scene. And it's just, look, it's another way for us to all get together, enjoy each other's time, company during the holidays. And then we put out a kind of a funny video where people laugh, I
got a lot of hits. That was
the Elf video. We ended up getting like 4,000 or 5,000 views from that. It got someone even submitted it to some local, we didn't win, but a local
Shorts.
awards, for videos or something. So, but we had more fun with it, and it was we were out there all day. It was fun, and those are the kind of things you just kind of evolve. Will we do it every year? I don't know. We'll see. This is going to be our second year in a row doing a Christmas video. We'll see what happens next year.
Hoping it catapults us up to some bigger roles, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, look, working on the Hollywood roles.
Yeah,
we're gunning for a series.
Maybe get a Netflix special.
Or something. Yeah, Netflix special. I'll take anything, honestly.
Well, I do have our content. This is where the content stuff is great. Is our guy that does all our content actually is produces movies, and he does some smaller video movies, and I've been able to be an extra in 2 of them.
Nice.
Big premiere this
weekend.
And
this weekend on Sunday night, he's premiering the movie locally in a couple theaters, and so it's my first chance to be on the big screen. So I'm really excited.
Big screen now, right?
Yeah.
Not just on the phone screen.
Yeah,
you're getting hitting the big
screen.
He's a little
jealous.
I'll be there.
So. Yeah, but that's part of the content stuff. Like I would never have the opportunity to do any of that stuff if you just didn't put yourself out there and be in social media.
That's right.
So like you said, you start at one avenue, before you know it, you're branching off into doing all kinds of stuff.
Yep. And kind of bringing it back to the beginning, that community involvement stuff that you could do, that's a great source of that content that you could put out. So man, thanks guys for coming back on and talking about this. I hope you have a great holiday season and continued success with your business. This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast.
If you would like to generate more sales through your digital marketing efforts, please visit roofermarketers.com and get a copy of the book, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors, How to Triple Your Sales and Turn Your Roofing Website into an Online Lead Generation Machine. Also, check the training section of the website for guides on everything from running effective pay-per-click ads to how to properly set up your Google My Business listing. This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. Thanks for listening.